on board Preeyam Tolia, who is the Senior Research Analyst for FMCG at Axis Securities, to talk to us about what's playing out here. First off, Preeyam, tell us that there's been a slew of earnings which have come out. You have a commentary from the likes of an Avenue Supermarts all the way to a Marico, and now even Godrej Consumer, who we've spoken with. What's the sense like? What's your key takeaway? And why is therefore the Nifty FMCG, the entire basket, buzzing? Okay, it seems to be okay. Preeyam, please go ahead.
Yeah. So if you see the commentaries from most of the FMCG companies in this quarter have given one positive signal, which is what the entire state was anticipating in terms of the rural recovery, right? So most of the FMCG companies have highlighted that they are seeing a consistent rural recovery, though in a slower pace. But what they are anticipating is that in the second half, post.
Okay, Preeyam, seems we have. Okay, so those are managements coming out with their commentaries. Preeyam is back with us. Preeyam Tolia, Senior Research Analyst, FMCG at Axis Securities. Welcome back, Preeyam. Preeyam, you're making a point with regard to what stood out for you in terms of commentary, as well as what's possibly leading this 2% kind of surge in Nifty FMCG and 9 to 10% in some of the other counters.
So yeah, like I said, that the positive thing is about the commentary on the rural, which we are also anticipating that in the last 2 years, rural has not gone anywhere, right? And being the inflation has been remained stable, in the consumer inflation has been stable. So what we expect is that the recovery would be gradual, but the second half would be led by the festive season. So we expect a strong volume growth recovery in the FMCG basket.
Okay, so volume growth just based on rural, but it's also commodity prices, right, Preeyam? What kind of an impact will that have? Because we saw gross margins expand, especially for a Marico. But overall, how are you looking at margin improvement along with? So is it going to be a twin lever? Is what I'm trying to understand from you, in your view.
So yeah, so in terms of the margins, if you see the raw material prices, right, since last 1 month, there is a volatility in the raw material prices. But if you see the commentaries from the management, most of the management has highlighted that as of now, the situation is manageable for them, that they will able to take the price hikes if the raw material prices goes up. But we have to see, we remain cautious on of course, the gross margins front. But if we compare on the EBITDA margins, right? So companies are going to spend on the advertisement, right? So the EBITDA margin expansion would be lower compared to the gross margins. But the overall thing about the volume growth which is coming up, right, which is a most important thing for any FMCG companies. So that's why, so we are positive on the overall FMCG.
So, right, Preeyam, Anushya, on the other side over here, you mentioned about the margin expansion on one side. I also want to understand that most of the companies are inching up their advertising expenses. What do you feel about that?
So yeah, the competition intensities have increased, right, since last quarters onwards, due to the raw material prices have come down, right? So that's why the companies are increasing the ad spends. So what we believe is that increasing the ad spend will, of course, benefit the companies in the medium to long term basis. But in overall basis, it's positive. They will able to take the market share from the unorganized or local players.
Got your point, Preeyam. Preeyam, just with regard to timelines, where are you forecasting rural to recover? And how have your numbers in terms of your estimates changed post, this Q4 con call, as well as all the commentary coming through? How have your numbers changed, and where has your numbers changed most significantly? Which are those quarters in FY25 where you've tweaked your estimates the most?
recovery which we have modeled in our estimate is from the second half onwards. Again, the rural, again the normal monsoon, which is likely to anticipate, the numbers will likely to reflect in the second half onwards. Again, the festive season, right? If you see the last 2 years, there has not been much growth in the overall festive season for most of the FMCG companies. But this time, what we anticipate is that the festive season is also likely to be good for the larger companies. So on the second half of the year, we have anticipated a greater recovery in our estimates. So overall, net overall FY25 is likely to be better than the FY24 for the entire FMCG sector.
On one side, where you are expecting FY25 to be better, I also want to understand on the market share gains, like HUL, they have cited that they're seeing increasing competition in which they're losing their market share to smaller players. How are you seeing for a whole FMCG pack in general? Is this a new trend emerging, or how are we looking forward to this?
So the market share loss for larger players is from the mass end of the portfolio, right? Because the regional and the local players are more inclined towards the mass end of the portfolio. However, if you see the premium side of the portfolio for HUL or let's say for any company, Nestle, right? The premium side of the portfolio continues to remain strong. It is also because the urban continues to remain resilient, right? And being these companies are likely to focus on overall premiumization theme for FMCG, for their FMCG portfolio. So what we believe is that as and when the premium side of the portfolio increases, the margins are also likely to increase, right? So there is a pressure on the mass end of the portfolio, but companies through their advertisement, through their market activation activities, they are likely to gain back the market share.
Sure, Preeyam. Preeyam, just with regard to valuations, where are you finding that attractive at this point? You've seen a good surge in something like a Britannia. You are seeing already a good surge in both Marico as well as Godrej Consumer. What's the value like left on the table now at this point? And where are you seeing the most upside in terms of yours or Axis Securities view?
So how we are playing the entire FMCG basket is, so we are focusing on 2-3 parameters, right? The companies which are expanding their distribution reach, especially in the rural areas, we are positive on that. Secondly, the companies which are expanding their geography reach. So for example, let's say Jyothy Labs, right? So Jyothy Labs is was more into a south and the eastern side of the market. So now they are gradually expanding into the west and the north side of the market, right? So the geography expansion kind of players are likely to win in this scenario. And also the companies which are accelerating their premiumization portfolio, right? So in this basket, what we like is the Nestle, Britannia, because they are expanding into the rural. Of course, the Varun Beverages is also expanding into the rural, right? So we are positive on 3 companies, and apart from that, we in the mid segment we like Jyothy Labs, because they are premiumizing their portfolio. Also, they are expanding the geography reach.
Okay, premiumization, geographic reach, that's the pick coming in from Preeyam Tolia, who is the Senior Research Analyst at Axis Securities. Thanks so much, Preeyam, for joining us and giving us all of those perspectives and various moving parts. Well, Nifty FMCG up and away. But it's time to slip into a very short break. More on the other side. Stay tuned. We have a management coming in and we'll speak with them on Q4 numbers. It's Carbo Random Universal. Stock up and away, so stay tuned. We'll try to break that down a little more.